Alright, I saw Jonah in here earlier. Where's he at? I'm not going to bore people with myself. I'm just going to start them off with you. Get up here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to RavenCon 11. And with no further ado, Jonah Knight.
Michael pull out that whole one. Okay. I will forget.
How are you? Thanks.
Hey, so my name is Jonah Knight, and I like RavenCon. RavenCon has always been very good to me. It always makes me happy, deep inside my heart. Yay! It's an applause line. Hey, this is a song about zombies.
Days have been filled with the end of the world, fast-moving play, and the rising of the dead. There's an army of ghosts just won't get the hell out of my head. You'd be happy to know that ever since the day you died, I murdered every man who had no reason to survive. And I'm one of the good ones in a world that is rotting from inside. Couldn't find a way save your life in time. And if the only way back up was first a downward climb, well, maybe this old world might heal itself and rise. Or maybe this old world might heal itself and rise. Or maybe this dead world's gonna burn till the end of time. Days have been filled, shoving bodies into holes. I walk these broken roads, trying to save souls with a gun, or a knife, or a fist, or a rock, or any damn thing I find. Glad you didn't live to see streets that run with blood, and cults of crazy men praying for a flood. Torture and slavery, not so much has changed as I can see. Couldn't find a way to save your life in time. So if the only way back up is first a downward climb, well, maybe this old world might heal itself and rise. Maybe this old world can heal itself and rise. Or maybe this dead world's gonna burn to the end of time. If God does return, just to say that the joke's on me, his body become he needs to breathe. Clench my hands around his neck, drowned him in that cursed deep blue sea. Couldn't find a way to save your life in time. So if the only way back up is first a downward climb, well, maybe this old world might heal itself and rise. Maybe this old world can heal itself then rise. Or maybe this dead world's gonna burn till the end of time. This dead world's gonna burn till the end of time. Who is RavenCon?
John and I, everyone. All right, how's everyone doing? Everybody been to a panel yet? Yeah? What do you think? New hotel? How many of you were at the first RavenCon? Remember that tiny little hotel we had? Remember that? You could have fit the entire programming space we had in this one room. So we've grown a lot, so thank you all very much. I'd like to start off by introducing our guest of honor this year. Let's bring our authors up to the stage real quick. Sharon Lee and Steve Miller. I first met Sharon and Steve probably about 12 years ago. I've had them on my short list for a long time. So I'm very excited we got them here this year.
Hello, RavenCon. Thank you for having us.
I'm going to tell you, when we left home, we drove through snow. We stopped and had some crepes in Lewiston, Maine, and we looked outside and realized there was about 3 inches of snow still out there. And they said, the snow is over, and we were watching it come out of the sky. It's not snowing anymore. The Weather Bureau promised it was not snowing where we were. But we're here, and we had a great drive coming down, and we'll get a piece of beer. We've already met a lot of great people. So thank you for having us in.
And our artist guest of honor, Vincent DeFate. Has everyone seen the program book? Nobody has seen the program book. How awesome is that cover?
So if you've gotten an email from me within the last week, you're probably astonished how I could be in the Philippines and penniless and be standing before you. My email address has been hacked twice in the last 6 weeks, and my apologies if you were one of the numerous recipients that everybody
Don't
has ever
send you
known.
money.
If you're going to send money, send it to my actual home address. At any rate, I am greatly honored to be your artist guest of honor, and I promise to spend the next 72 hours avoiding any regret asking me to be guest of honor. Thank you.
Now, if you should get an email in the next 48 hours saying he's stuck in Williamsburg,
That might be real.
is Ted in the audience? Ted White? Are you hiding out there? You are, Ted. Come on up. Ted has been another one on our short list for a long time. People have actually been lobbying for us to bring Ted in.
If you don't know Ted, he's been involved in fandom and pro science fiction for decades. He has done a lot. Go to some of his panels and you're going to hear some great stories. Ted.
I have nothing prepared to say, but I'm glad to be here. Thank you very much.
Jason Witt is our other guest of honor, our fan guest of honor. He couldn't be here tonight because he's got professional obligations. He's also on the hotel staff here. He is the reason that we are in this hotel. He shepherded our arrival here from Williamsburg. I'm sorry, from Richmond. You see, I'm already feeling at home in Williamsburg. I've forgotten all about that other town. Yeah. I'm going to do something a little bit different this year that I haven't done in years past, and that is delegating. And I'm going to start with Mr. Rich Sigfrid.
Thanks for coming out, Mom. So out of all the things to delegate, the very first thing that he delegates to me for some reason are the rules. Oh, okay, I thought it was the examples I've been setting over the years. So obviously I'm not going to read all 20 of the very important rules that are in this. You can peruse these yourselves. But I do want to cover some really important ones. One of these, of course, is harassment of any type is completely unacceptable. We like to have a very positive environment here at RavenCon, as it is one of my favorite conventions every year. It is my favorite convention every year, and you will hear me say that at every convention I go to. We want you guys to exhibit polite behavior in public areas. Obviously, we want everybody to have a good time. Even if you think that the Green Lantern movie was the best piece of cinema ever created, it's okay to have a conversation about it, but don't punch anybody over it. Let's see here. We also, badges, very important. Make sure you have your badge on you at all time. If you don't, you will have to replace it yourself. Otherwise, you won't be allowed back into the convention except to get a new badge. What's that? One exception? If you happen to have the skeleton with a foam axe, then you are allowed to walk around without a badge. Or if you happen to be a skeleton with a foam axe, which of course you can find out all about the weapons policy in here. Definitely check that out if you're carrying any weapons around with you, specifically prop weapons and stuff. If you're carrying actual weapons, well, we're just talking to Conchair about that. Cell phones during all events and stuff like that. Look, let's face it, as time has progressed, we've had a lot more an influx of millennials and everything like that. Kids, we've got to make sure fandom grows. However, it's okay to be detached from your digital electronics for the time period of a panel or something like that. You can always go back and check it later on. However, if you do tweet or message anything, what would the hashtag be? Hashtag RavenCon. I wasn't sure if there was anything special. For all the non-millennials out there, people over the 40, the hashtag was the number symbol that was on the bottom of the telephone. We, of course, encourage children, as you mentioned with millennials and stuff like that, even the wee ones. We encourage children, you're a little bit older than the child, sir, but we'll get to you in just a second. So we encourage children, however, if you have a child with you, keep a wrangle on them. We are not responsible. It does take a community, however, we are not that community. Please wrangle your own children. If children are left unattended, they will be tossed into the auction, and you may not get them back. Sister, you had a question? Made up your own answer? All right, fair enough, that's well covering rules, what could go wrong. Also, brand new hotel. Let's not trash it. Even if you don't like the hotel, some of us do. So they have nicer towels than the other ones do. And so we want to be able to come back. So don't mess stuff up for everybody. And of course, one of the biggest things is a lot of work went into the programming schedule. However, things happen. Some of those things change. So, of course, there is an online schedule, and it is live and updated on the website, correct?
On the website, we're also on sked.org. which are RavenCon2016.sked.org. All right, so make sure you check that out. It's actually a pretty cool utility. What you can do is, I pulled my phone out and show you, but let's face it, not even the front row is going to be able to see that. But what you can do is you can kind of select which panels you want to hit up, and then you can sort by just that. Technology is beautiful. Check it out yourself. And of course, the most important of these rules, I'll get to that one in a second. The second most important block of rules is 17 through 20 involving alcohol. She will be checking IDs. More people, right? Because I don't think you're going to be able to be everywhere. Okay. So there's going to be more people that just are checking IDs. But just read through the rules. Certainly, if you're doing if you're running any parties or anything like that, because those are a great way to promote whatever product you're doing. Also a great way for folks to be able to come in, hang out, and whatnot. So make sure you read through those rules. What's that? Yeah. Whether the cheese is alcoholic or not, the wine certainly is constituted in that. So please make sure you check out those rules. And of course, the most important rule, then I'll get the heck off the stage here. I want to reiterate, this is a positive environment. There is a very strong no harassment policy. Conventions are the place where we can all learn cool things, new fandoms that we've never heard of. This is a great time to experiment with some kind of new fandom. Check out something you may not have thought of before without having to clear your browser history later on by looking at /. So this is a perfect time to do that. It is a very safe place. And just remember the Whedon's rule, which I'm sure everybody knows, is don't be a... there's children. So one right there, staring at me. You're daring me to say it, aren't you? Yeah. Don't be a jerk. So we want to be positive and everything for everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and bring Mike back up here. Guys, have an awesome RavenCon 2016!
All right, back in the day, I used to be able to call out all of the guests by name, but we've got 3 times as many guests as we used to. So all of the programming guests, please stand up. Now, these are the people that we want to keep an eye out for. They're all doing programs. They are mostly here to promote something. Now, if this is your very first time at RavenCon, stay standing and everyone else sit. All right, except for Steve Sharon, you can sit too. You've already done you. And Vincent. I'm going to start right in the front row here with the Lynches. You are here primarily for Fan Historicon. Nikki, you're also doing a Doctor Who panel though, right? Excellent. You got anything you want to, any particular panel you're looking forward to? No, all of them. Fan Historicon is going to be upstairs, and Warren's going to talk about that in just a second. You guys can sit. All right, now, like I said, these are mostly new people, so there's some fresh faces right here in the middle that I don't recognize. I'm going to start on my left and work to the right. Who are you? Oh, Chris Levine, you are here with, that means you would be Jim Levine. Yes. Excellent, welcome. You are both authors. Right. You are in Artist Alley, right. Artist and Author Alley. So go buy their books and check out their panels. What's your big panel this weekend?
Tonight I'm doing a panel at 10 o'clock on publishing on a budget.
Nice. And Chris? Oh, that one looks like a fun one. I want to try to get to that myself. Cool, thanks a lot. And right next to them.
Matthew Saunders. So I'm an author too. I have a trilogy. Second book just came out about the Project Jackalope.
Also an artist and author, Allie, aren't you?
Yeah, I just have 2 books out there.
Excellent. Well, you guys all have to drop by the artist and author and buy some of these guys' books. Thanks a lot. Let's move to the right. Gentleman in costume.
My name is Daniel Hawk. We're doing Swindon Top Racing.
Now, tell everyone what Splendid Pump Racing is.
Take everything off of it, you decorate it, you have to have a teapot on it. You can get steampunk stuff, came from New Zealand, started New Zealand, and decorated Maryland's pirate one, like Star Trek team. These got various things for $8. So it was a lot of fun. We did it at RavenCon. social areas, people like that.
I've had people tell me I have to take pictures under threat of death, so I will be there taking pictures.
It's
Thanks a
very
lot.
cool and a great deal of fun, and everybody had a blast at RavenCon. Mark the time, don't be later, you won't be able to escape.
That's going to be taking place out in the lobby out in front of the pictures tomorrow afternoon. On the right, Shimmer and Shade. What are you guys doing this weekend?
Let's see, I think we've got us doing a hallway costume contest judging, and we've got a panel on thermoplastics tomorrow morning, and I'm going to teach people how to airbrush on Sunday.
Thermoplastics one sounds fascinating.
Something that
I hope you get a good crowd for that.
Oh, it's going to be a blast. It was a huge, well, it's been a huge start. I've eventually done it at, so we can't wait to teach more people.
Cool. All right. And right behind you.
Armin Cabrera, I'm an artist.
I'm sorry. A little louder. I can't hear everybody.
Armin Cabrera, I'm an artist.
And he's doing a 3-hour demonstration. What are you doing for that?
I will do a painting from start to finish.
It will be more fun than watching paint dry. I think that's fascinating that you're going to do an entire painting in 3 hours and people can watch. That's going to be very educational.
And I'll try to talk while I do it.
Thank you. All right, and right behind you.
I'm Waylon Smith. I'm an author. I have some books at the Fountain Bookstore table. I'll be on the gunplay panel tonight at 10, about 3 of them on Saturday, and the CW superhero panel on Sunday morning.
Thank you. Margaret.
I'm Margaret McGraw. I am looking forward to our Weird Wild West launch party tonight at 10 o'clock in room 5. Hope y'all will come and say hi. And also, I'm on several panels through the weekend and looking forward to the fan knit-in on Sunday morning at 10 in room 2. And I brought a few extra supplies if anybody would like to just come and play for a little while.
And right in front of Margaret.
My name is Christine McDonald. My books are not actually out there, but you can always get a copy from me. I've bought plenty of them. Don't be afraid to come say hi to me. I don't bite. But I'm on 2 self-publishing panels, one tonight, one tomorrow morning, and 2 panels, one on characterization and one on killing off characters tomorrow afternoon.
Now, Christine has actually been on a panel at RavenCon before.
Yeah, 5 years ago, when I was a senior in high school, I was on the Voices of Tomorrow panel, which was my first experience on panels, and I've been coming to RavenCon actually since 2009, so I'm really excited I finally get to be on the other end of it.
One of our outreach students that has come back and every year we send guests out to local high school to talk to students. And we had 5 people went out this year, and I heard 4 people, sorry. But a huge turnout at the high school. A lot of students that were very, very interested. So I'm so very proud that we do that. And then back up front.
Hi, I'm Kat, and I'm part of the Jesters Inc. improv group. So we had one show already today, and then we also have a show tomorrow at 1 and on Sunday at 10. So you should come see us and laugh at us. It's fun.
Right on the aisle.
Christina Stiles, I'm a game designer and publisher. I'm doing a panel on writing for the gaming industry on Saturday at 9, and I'm also running games. Unfortunately, it's not my game that I'm running, but it's a dark horror fantasy called The Shadow of the Demons Will come out with January.
And Laurel.
My name is Laurel Wanrow. I write lighthearted steampunk fantasy, and tomorrow morning at 9 I'm doing a self-editing workshop on cutting out your word list called Finding Space, and then later in the afternoon a family craft activity making a little pouch out of leather. So it's pretty much for all ages.
Yeah, that pouch one sounds fantastic. It's a $5 fee for materials.
I'm very into classroom too, so I'm looking forward to those things.
And JT.
I'm JT Both. I write like superhero stories that have like romance, action, adventure, and crap like that in it. So it's just a lot of fun. It's kind of been a dream of mine since I was a kid. I'm a huge weeknight, so tonight I'm doing a panel called Weeknights Guide
by the characterization, which I've given to a few writers groups in Virginia and near Washington State. So I'm really excited. We're going to watch some movies and just kind of talk about like what we can learn from week for people who are writers. I'm also going to be moderating a weekly panel tomorrow and on several panels for Saturday and Sunday. And I have like some cool stuff to give away. So if anybody sees me, nail me down. I don't have it with me now, but I will have it tonight. So I can, if you see me, say hi, and I have some cool stuff for you. So thanks for having me.
And right behind JT.
Hi, everybody. My name is Bill Edwards. I'm down here with some of my partners in crime from Budine. It's a group of science fiction enthusiasts who help out with this winter. I'll be on a couple of panels here, as well as presenting one on tactical astronomy for the United States.
Tactical astronomy sounds fun. Tell everyone what that's about.
In all sci-fi, it's a case of the aliens are coming in and all that, your monster starships. How would you really detect them? And I use the Honorverse starships as a model of this. How would they show up on radar? Would you enter the system to see them? Visual light, infrared, and what kind of gravitational signature do they have?
Very cool. Right in front of you.
I'm Jason Carney. I teach in the English department at Newport University. And tonight at 11, I'm doing a panel on Lovecraft, his legacy and popular media. And tomorrow, I'm doing a panel on space opera, why we love it. So thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. And then Heidi in the back.
Hi, I'm Sherry Ayers. I'm an author. I write paranormal urban fantasy. I'm also a teacher. I'm on 5 different panels tomorrow. One that I'm looking forward to is one that this Kennedy is not on.
Also in the alley. Correct?
I'm sorry?
Also in the alley?
Yes, I am also.
All right, let's give it up for the RavenCon group. Standing around you, so.
Well, I brought my entourage. I'm Mitch O'Connell. I'm an author with Martin Voyager. I do urban fantasy, modern fairy tales, and my second book I started using quantum mechanics to do magic. And I'm camped out at the Fountain Bookstore. We're actually doing giveaways of free books. Every time you buy a book, you get an entry to pick 4 books, so an extra reason to come by. And I'm doing a workshop tonight at 9 on magical realism. And a handful of panels tomorrow and a couple of panels on Sunday.
Great, thank you, Bishop. And at this point, unless I miss anyone else, all right, I'm going to turn things over to Warren Buff now. Warren will tell us a little bit more about Canyon Store.
Alright, so RavenCon actually started out back in the 90s. It was a dream call. Peggy Ray Sapienza, I think at the time she was still Peggy Ray Sapienza. But anyways, it got started not too far from here. They held one up near Hagerstown, Maryland. And they had a nice little series of 9 or 10 of them, and they kind of trailed off. And back at Corfu in Richmond, the weekend after RavenCon 2 years ago, Mike and I kind of got talking about fan history. We were like, why don't we do another fan historicon? Got talking, throwing some ideas around, and decided, okay, let's do a fan historicon at RavenCon. So we've got a programming track dedicated to the history of science fiction and fantasy fandom. This is the history of us. So a lot of what we're looking at this weekend is fandom in the 1960s and 70s, but we're also looking at how to preserve this history, how to document this history, how can we as a community participate in writing our own history? Because folks are only getting older, we're going to lose some of this history if we don't record it. So we'd love to have you come by and throw around some ideas about it. I believe we also wanted to recognize someone who's done quite a bit of work in history. He's not actually here tonight. He is in the hospital. He's actually rather ill.
but Jack Weaver has been the webmaster of fanac.org, which is one of the predominant fan history sites out there, for over 20 years. And we do have someone from the FANAC organization here, Mark Olson, is going to accept this instead. I was just asked to pick this up yesterday when Edie Stern, who we had hoped would be here, had to cancel. Edie suckered Jack 35 years ago into abandonment when he worked for her. And 20 years ago when he was retiring, he said, Edie, what could I do for a retirement hobby? And she said, we got a plan for you. And Edie and her husband Joe, with Jack, built FANAC.org, which is one of the great history resources. And Jack, basically decided he has to retire from that. And he's going to really appreciate this. So thank you very much.
I'm actually very excited to announce that all of the programming guests have picked up their placards, except one. And I'm going to put her on the spot and bring her up right now. Jillian Ryan. First off, because all I ever see is amazing outfit. And secondly, so that while she's up here, she might be able to say a word or two about Extra Life.
I'm bad at responsibility. Adulting is not my forte. My name is Jillian Ryan. I'm actually here hosting a bunch of cosplay panels, so if you guys want to come out to those, that'd be great. But the reason mostly I'm here is because I work hand in hand with the DCU Children's Hospital. I am the president of Extra Life Richmond. We have about 300 volunteers. You can play video games and board games to help heal sick kids. So who here likes video games and board games? Right? So if I told you that you could play video games and board games for 24 hours and help us heal sick kids, help us work towards the cure for cancer and leukemia and things like that, how many of you would be interested in doing something like that? Right? So we have to panel tomorrow, right? What time? At 1 o'clock? What room? You know? So we have a panel at 1 o'clock. Oh my God, it's on the back of my placard. Room K. I don't know this. I'm also not wearing my glasses. But yeah, if you guys want to swing by, we have some really amazing people, and we want to help heal kids. And nerds are the best at being the sweetest, kindest people. And so no one does this better. So if you guys want to come out tomorrow, we can sign you up, and we can start gaming and helping heal kids. So thanks for having me, guys.
My attention to Charity Ayers is negligent as well. Where did she go? Did she leave us already? All right, she's in trouble. Let's see, what do I have next on my thing? Let's talk about fan elections. 4 years ago, we held our first fan elections here. So we were looking for a theme, and it was an election year. And it went really well. And Carla Brindle stole it in a landslide because she bribed everybody with cake. So of course this year we are doing fan elections again. And is there anyone in the audience right now that is planning on throwing their hat into the ring? Right, it's uncontested right now. You will become our fan guest of honor for next year, which means a free hotel room. Rich, you want in? Yeah. And Bill, you in? Darth is in. That's why I thought, well, Darth, come on up and give your stump speech.
He wasn't ready for this. I told you it was coming. The dodo.
There ain't no party like a dodo party. Which brings up tomorrow night, Darth is throwing a superhero-themed costume party in room 152 at 9 p.m. Show up, vote, have beverages.
So you're running against an extinct bird. Anyone else want in? All right, get up here, Rich. All right, Michael, what's your platform?
Short ball to the middle end. How easy do you have to get any geekier than that?
I know where you live. I have been a fan of all things geeky since I could spell the word. So, and free stuff is awesome. Free food, my favorite dish. It was Italian until I had an allowance. I have a towel. As any good yes. So, I mean, I have gear. I'm, like I said, short, balding, and middle-aged. And I read a lot, I watch a lot of movies. I'm on a couple of panels. And I've been to... I run the outreach program. So I'm bringing in new blood. And out of the dozen or so cons I frequent on the East Coast, over half of them that did not put me on a panel or elect me for something have imploded. I'm not saying anything. I wasn't there when it happened, but you've been warned. Oh, and my birth certificate is in hieroglyphics. I was born on send cards, and Michael Winslow. Michael J. Winslow, so I don't get mixed up with the sound effects guy from the Police Academy movies. All right.
It's really the only reason to do this against them. All right, so how many folks in here don't know me?
Oh, wait.
Probably shouldn't have started with that. I've been doing the con circuit for about, I think this is my 14th year now. Started off as a fan guest, as a podcaster. I have since transitioned into an MC role at the majority of the conventions that I attend. What would be a positive of me? A lot of conventions tend to put me on panels when they need somebody to spice it up a little bit. Basically, they just need somebody to be a goofball on there if it's a boring topic. If you find me on one of their panels this week, I apologize. I'm sure it's not indicative of what they were anticipating the panel to be. But one of the main geeky things that I do, aside from working in e-learning, one of my previous jobs was actually doing e-learning for kids, creating mods for Minecraft professionally. Also 3D animation, 3D modeling. Currently right now I'm doing things for adults like turning Lean Six Sigma, a very boring subject, into something interesting interactively. But I think one of the biggest things that I can say as a fan guest, besides the fact that as the fan guest of Honor at Con Carolinas a couple of years ago, the entire convention was sold out. I'm sure it had nothing to do with George R. R. Martin being there, but still. And also Mysticon, since they made me the MC, they've been sold out every year. Again, probably had nothing to do with George R. R. Martin being there. But the biggest reason is because most people don't realize this, but I also go by another name, and that is Richie Munster. That is the stage name for Nerdvana, which is the Raleigh area's only nerd geek themed burlesque show. Which, of course, we have nerdy, geeky burlesque. We also tour conventions. At some point in time, we're hoping to be able to bring it to RavenCon here. And as whatever the thing I'm running for is, I promise that I will do my best to make sure that we have some adult entertainment at a RavenCon in the evening, not during the day, after the children are asleep. And I will build a wall around the jocks. Thank you.
At this point, I want to talk about a few people that aren't here. Many of you probably noticed the empty table in front of the dealer's room. We lost Bud Webster in February, Bud, who was a professional author, a fan historian, a book dealer, and a very, very good friend to many of us. He had been at every RavenCon up until now, part of our local gaming group, and we all miss him very dearly. In addition to Bud, we have also lost a staff member, Ed Pope, who many of you probably remember from the Con Suite. He was the gentleman in the last few years that would very cheerfully greet everyone as they came in. He passed away very recently as well. And then Leslie Phillips Barger, who was part of the LARP here every year, never missed a RavenCon. She passed away just a couple of weeks ago. Her memorial is actually this weekend. So keep the three of them in your thoughts. And our charity this year is going to be for Ed and Crystal. Would you like to come up and talk about that? Yes. Yeah.
Hello. How are y'all doing? Alright, well, this year's charity, as he said, we each year choose something that's near and dear to our hearts and our family. And this year is in honor of Ed. So we have chosen the Dialysis Patient Citizen Education Center, which is quite a mouthful, I know. It's the DPC Ed for short, which shouldn't be too difficult to remember, Mike. I've already gone around to a lot of you who have seen me around. I've already collected a lot of items for this year's charity. A few of the items we have are prints from artists who are here. We have a lot of signed books. We have an advanced reader's copy from Sharon and Steve right here in front. We also have a weekend stay for two to this very hotel that is good through April 30th of next year. So if you want to keep that in mind for MarsCon maybe, or for any other stay around here in this area, it's a weekend stay provided by the hotel.
All right, folks. One more entry for the fan guest of honor. I couldn't let it pass with no geek girls represented. I know I'm old. I'm not even in middle age. I'm past that. I'm old. But all of my life I've been a geek. From when I was crawling to now, I'm going to die a geek. And I represent that in many ways. Some of you might recognize that I was the con chair for this past RavenCon, which was sold out, and George R.R. Martin wasn't here.
All right, I need to point out that we have a schedule for the anime room listed on the pocket program, but we didn't say what room it's in. It's going to be room 4. So if anyone's looking for anime, it's downstairs in room 4. Wade Cottrell, where are you hiding? There you are. We are starting a new film festival competition. It is going to be a joint effort between us and MarsCon. And Wade is going to explain to you how that is going to work.
Hey, how's it going? I don't need a mic. I can project. So,
He's a movie projector.
yeah.
He's a big mouth.
He's very loud. You love me.
Yep, I do.
So, what we're going to do is, we've got the rules written up. We've got the genre list set. We're going to post the rules for the website at MarsCon and hopefully for RavenCon, so you can peruse them at your leisure. We have talked to the owner of Retro Daddios. We're going to have our launch party there. Get your teams together. You'll be given a packet with a line of dialogue, a prop that you have to use in your film, a genre, and a character's name. And then you have until the end of October, maybe first week of November, get your film shot, edited, scored, brought in, and it'll be watched by the panel of judges and voted on. And if you turn it in, it'll get shown on the screen, probably in this auditorium. Come and see your name in lights, 5 foot long and luminous. There's nothing like it. We are looking to offer some prize support. Come check it out. Come watch the films. Clap, applaud. Show some love to your fellow geeks. Come impress people with your creativity. We've got a couple of our judges already picked. We've got to pick 3 more, and we will post the date for the get together at Retro Dadios. Come and take part.
As most of you know, we every year have a party contest, the John Jones Memorial Award for Excellence in Partying. Yes. The rules are pretty simple. They're in the program book. It's got to be an open party. It's got a card. Everybody. Yes. Even the skeleton gets carded. But the winner from last year, Lee, would you like to come up and present the award? And on the subject of the RavenCon and the election, ballots are going to be located at the parties and also in ConOps and the Con Suite and at the registration desk. Pick up ballots and drop them off in all 3 of those locations. You can only vote once, but everybody's got to vote. She's walking away from us.
Obviously, we dedicated to John. He was a wonderful person. Everybody loved him. And we miss him so terribly. So we gave his name to this. But RavenCon for 2015, and it goes to the RavenCon bid party. So Bill, come on up here. Let's capture that. I don't know if anybody's actually right. Actually, no, I'm listening. There you go.
This is the 5th or 6th of these that I've been involved in. We have not drank any of the booze because it's still in the bottle because we're that way. It's an honor to continue to win both excellent parties. 1984 Arabian WorldCon will be running at 9 p.m. tonight, where you too can find out if you are an Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, or Epsilon, where you fit out in society. I have only one other thing. This year at WorldCon, you can vote to see where you're going to go instead of hell. Because there's 2 NASDAQ bids since we lost to those. Yeah. Warren, my apologies that we couldn't quite bring in the 500 votes they cheated and brought in.
It was honest. It was just the 3rd largest vote total in WorldCon history. Everyone drove out votes. Thank you all for helping us.
Support of RavenCon and everybody. We appreciate that.
And that doesn't mean we're done.
I'm very, very strange award to give. Because quite a while ago, we gave Michael an award that said the fearless leader from his loyal minions and broke it. Yeah, all right. Well, so I went ahead and I bought a new one. And this said, to fearless leader from his loyal minions, please don't break this one. And it gets better. Because Alexis went ahead and grabbed it, and it fell off the table. It comes pre-broken and broken.
Everyone gives me ravens now. My apartment looks like a murder. And that's all you have to put up with me. I'd like to turn it back over to Joe tonight now.